What's everybody? My next to me, aka Brandon. This is episode 45 of the Anime Dojo. I'm alongside Chris and Deon this evening. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Doing
Killing.
great.
We have a lot to get into tonight. We have a couple stories we're gonna get into. We're gonna talk about this McDonald's thing that's going on. McDonald's is gonna make their own anime and kind of use something from a show that we all know, and it's actually a show that most people probably will know. We'll get into that. We have Naruto live action being made, and made by somebody everybody might know. If you know the Marvel series, you might know not know this character. And we're going to also talk about what we did on Sunday. We're going to talk about Demon Slayer, the Hashira Training Art Episode 1. We're gonna get into that. We'll do non-spoiler stuff first, and then we'll get into spoilers. But then after that, we'll get into Magic and Muscles episode 19. There's no soul leveling this week. There is a soul leveling episode, but it's a recap episode. So 7.5, you'll see this very often when they try to not do a. They're not going to do. They do this when they don't have an episode ready, or in this case, like Magic and Muscles last week, they were off. Soul Leveling had their other episode this week. Magic and Muscle has their episode, and then Soul Leveling's off. So we'll get them both back next week fully. But this is if you need to catch up on Soul Leveling recap things, watch that episode. It's actually kind of worth it. Recap episodes are actually kind of good for anime. I don't mind them. But let's get into this McDonald's anime thing. So McDonald's is making this anime. It's called W Donald's. Basically, if you know the show, the Devil's a Part Timer, that it is kind of from that it is a pretty much basis of what W is Part Timer is. The main character in Devil Plate Timer works for McDonald's in that show. So basically, what they're doing, they're making this show where you have all these different characters kind of being together in this McDonald's and everything, talking about different, the food and just working there and everything. But also in a time with that, there was the thing that they are going to open a store in California, or they're going to redo a store in California to look like this McDonald's in the anime and have different like types of food items and the special sauces and things like that. Kind of reminds me of what they did when they had the Szechuan sauce for Rick and Morty. That's been about 6 years
And
now.
Mulan.
Mulan, they did it. A couple other ones. It's been about 6 years. I'm gonna start off with Dion for this, and both these gentlemen, I will say this right now, didn't like this idea. But I'm gonna bring up another point after they talk about it that most people probably don't know as well. Dion, what do you think about this whole situation?
Man, McDonald's is horrible for this, man. Like, how do you okay, so I'm not familiar with everybody's meme knowledge, but we've been seeing an anime meme of McDonald's characters for since the internet existed.
Yes, we have.
And now they're gonna release it or actually create an anime that has nothing to do with anything. Like from what I can see from this trailer, is like Goku works at McDonald's and started an anime about it. Like this is horrible. Um, yeah, it's a cash grab to me, and as a multi-billion-dollar company, I don't feel like you need to do it. Leave it to the pros, man. Leave this story to the pro. Unless somebody just reached out to you and begged you and paid you a bunch of money to do this, it's pointless. God, man, like I could degrade this anime for hours and hours.
Chris, and I partially don't disagree. Chris, what do you think about this whole situation? I think you're on the same page with Dion for most of it, but any other thoughts?
Bro, I think I said this last week when it was first when it was still funny. It's not funny anymore. Like, why?
It's not funny.
This was a waste of McDonald's money because first off, I don't know too many people that still like McDonald's. Not to say why they don't like McDonald's. We all know why. That will get us canceled, but still, and I mean, at first I thought about it like it might be a way to revamp their old characters, like besides Ronald McDonald. But then again, like the more I thought about it, the less I cared. So it's like, why? But you got it.
Yeah, I I will say this. It's not. I can't disagree with both of you boys. I think it is a cash grab, Dion, partially. But I also think McDonald's is trying to do something. By the way, they're trying to do something that somebody else in the food space has already done. I'm going to bring this up because I told both these gentlemen this the night we saw Demon Slayer after we watched the movie. Think about KFC. KFC tried this with two things, and Chris thought the first we need to. Oh, I told it Chris first a couple days ago. Chris kind of was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I'm like, "I wasn't kidding." KFC made a telenovela about the Colonel and how he made his secret recipe. Also, they made a gaming console, but the gaming console thing was kind of fake. It was a real thing, but it was actually never coming to market. So that's a little bit different. But the thing that kind of really pushed it over the edge, they made a game where it's a dating sim where you could date the Colonel.
You know what?
Let me repeat that one more time. They made a dating sim where you could date the Colonel. So ultimately, this is
My faith
this,
in humanity has decreased a little bit more.
Decrease 1,000%. What is humanity at this point? Oh my god.
That's what they said in the chat, by the way, at this when we first brought the story up. So this is not out of the realm for McDonald's. And ultimately, if it comes out to be like a love story or something or like a drama, I'm fine with that. I think the thing is, it's gonna be satire anyway. We kind of know that. We kind of know it's not gonna be super serious. Also, they're doing a tie with food stuff for McDonald's stores. They've done it, like I said, with Rick and Morty. They've done it with other things, like Chris mentioned. It's not
You know
surprising.
what though? I hate to say it like this, Brandon,
Go ahead.
but it is kind of messed up to even say this, but we do get a lot of knockoff products from that side of the world.
We do. We do get a lot of knockoff things, and it's not surprising that they're probably doing it for Japan purposes, not the States. Even though there's going to be a store in the States, in California, in a couple other places.
Man, that sucks.
Like,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. You're good. I don't blame either one of them because I think it is kind of odd for seeing McDonald's do this. But I'll say this right now: it ended up hitting. It ended up working. What are you gonna say? Because it works for.
You know what? If they are doing, the devil's a part timer, then they need to go ahead and add my man McDowell's in there too.
Yeah. Like
Do
it's one
y'all
of
know
those.
where I'm getting McDowell's from? Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
I've
Said it.
seen I've seen a couple things of it. I've never
Coming to
actually.
America.
Oh,
Coming
yep,
to America.
yep. That's a reference. That's a reference to Coming to America. Yep, that's what I figured.
Oh, yeah, where her dad worked.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is only a 4-episode series or short. So the titles of the episodes are "The Race to McDonald's," "Love from Across the Booth," "McNuggets Space Frontier 3000," the wise of the wisdom of the sauce. And Dion laughed when I read the title. I was like, okay, all right, they're going full comedy at this point, so it's not like
Oh
they,
my goodness.
yeah.
All right, man. This is getting out of hand, bro. First Rick and Morty, now McDonald's.
So
What's
that's my
next? They're
question.
gonna bring back the Yoketo Taco Bell dog for a whole series. What's up, man?
Stop.
So my question to you, gentlemen, before we get into our next topic, do you think this is officially jumped the shark? And Chris, I'll start with you.
Yes. Yes. Like I swear, Toyota started it, and then just like that, you automatically heard about two more, and we was like, why? Like like it's okay to get maybe one during the season or a year trying to see if it tests out, but nah, we got like three. Like, bro, really? Nah, take it back. I don't want it.
But
Can we like turn back the clock a few years?
and here's the thing: the Toyota one he's talking about is coming out. I think it came out today or tomorrow. I forget when it's coming out officially. or
I think it came out today.
it was just today.
Yes.
But basically, that Toyota one is
And
racing thing.
it actually goes hard. It actually
It's a
goes
racing
hard.
thing. It's a racing
Fast and
anime.
Furious, Tokyo
And
Drift.
correct. It's a racing anime, so it actually works in the favor of what they're doing. They do cars for Toyota make cars, so it's a car anime. I don't blame McDonald's because it's a food thing for them. But I will say this. I will say this within the next 3 years. We're gonna get another one of these. I don't know from who. I think Amazon, somebody like that will try one. And we'll have this trend where these companies will try to make their own animes with their own properties.
Where I can
Dion,
see it now. There's gonna be a Ikase for some kind of drone. It's gonna be
Yeah,
Amazon.
I mean,
I have to ask, do you think this was jumping the shark before we get to our next topic?
do I think it's what?
Jumping the shark.
Oh, no, no,
Okay.
I
That's
don't.
it. Okay. That's fair.
Just because, I mean, like I said, we've got the Rick and Morty, we've got all this other stuff happening. We got Toyota, the Fast and the Furious, Toyota Drift. We got the perfect audience for it because they're watching any and everything and considering it to be anime. I
Mhm.
got a bunch of live action releases that are crap, but people are loving it. So it's like, if you got some crap to release, now's the time to do it. Let's just
This is
go
being
ahead and
edited.
get it out now before everybody wakes up and realizes what the heck am I watching?
Speaking of
Go
live
ahead,
action, speaking of live action releases, nice segue, Dion. We're going to be talking about Naruto. So Naruto is going to give a live action adaptation, and it's done by the guy who was in Shang-Chi, the main character of Shang-Chi. It's going to be the director. I'm saying this right now. Netflix has already done too many. Me and Chris have watched the Last Airbender live action. It is actually not that bad. But there were a lot of fans of the original series who were kind of griping because they moved things in different places. They changed how characters acted. They did the things that didn't really make a lot of sense to a lot of the original fan base of the cartoon. Same with One Piece. They did the One Piece live action. It was actually really good. They kept the things that they need to keep in. Both series have kept things that they need to keep in to make the series make sense. I'm going to defer to Dion on this one. You're the Naruto fan. What do you think about the fact we're getting a live action Naruto?
Oh, I need a beep button. I need a beeper. Yes.
Honestly, I'm not upset with it. You knew it was coming,
Yeah.
especially after One Piece released. You knew it was coming. The only thing is, I refer back to when One Piece was released. I'd rather it be done on somewhere like HBO or somewhere who has, you know,
Bigger budget.
a way bigger budget,
Okay.
but
Okay.
also a better production staff. Let's get real here. I understand Marvel's gonna have or the guy from Marvel's gonna have his hands in this, but let's be honest, what was the last good thing Marvel released?
Mm,
And
mm,
their franchise is live action. So
yeah. Yeah.
but you know, and I know he's not per se Marvel in itself, but coming from their production team with the Shang-Chi and I think G.I. Joe or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know G.I. Joe has nothing to do with the other one, but I feel like he's gonna be influenced a lot by what goes on over at Marvel. And Chris sent me a meme with with the Naruto characters. Uh,
I
I think I know the one
and
you're talking about. I've seen this. I think I've seen this. Yeah.
whenever I send it to Dion, I send it to you too. So
Yeah, I've seen this. I think I know what you're
and
talking about.
it of course was a joke, but there's some truth in it. It's gonna look ridiculous. They're gonna probably get either no one or everyone that's well known, and it's going to suck either way.
Oh,
It's gonna be One Piece all over again. They're gonna smash a bunch of episodes together to create a very rushed, quick story. Because how can you tell Naruto in one movie, one TV show, one season? You know, it's going to be rushed. It's going to be badly produced. It's going to have a concept of time skip, and it's definitely going to have horrible casting. I promise you that.
oh,
Quote me
oh.
now. It's gonna have horrible casting.
And before I ask Chris, this is the guy who's watched all of Naruto, by the way. That's why I started off with Dion. And here's the thing, Chris, I'm gonna ask you the same thing. What do you think about this whole situation? And I did say something wrong. All right, so it is going to be the director and writer of Shang-Chi. So basically,
Yeah.
yes, Marvel is going to be the one, kind of the guy who did
Yeah.
on the Marvel movie is going to have the hand in it. It doesn't give you who's going to be producing it though. That's the thing I'm wondering now. If you say Disney's going to produce it, I'm going to be interested if Disney does produce it, or is it going to be somebody else entirely? But we can see when
I
that comes
really
down
hope
to.
it's not Disney. I really do. We're gonna get Secret Invasion all over again, Naruto style.
Chris, what do you think about the situation?
Actually, besides the horrible graphics and the bad acting and the lack of, or they're gonna try to do the 3D hair where they're standing up and it's not gonna work. It's gonna look horrible.
The
However, it is
CG
a
is gonna look bad.
chance. It is a chance for them to do the pacing correct, because we all know that the pacing in the original anime was not all that good.
Mm, mm.
So therefore, they do have a chance to rectify it. However, I give them slim chances. I give them more of a chance than Dion.
Okay.
Do I have high hopes for it?
See, I do feel like they're going to correct the time skip, but I feel like they're going to overcorrect. And that's why I feel like it's going to be rushed.
How do you overcorrect something like that? Like that's insane to me if you're gonna overcorrect, because watching One Piece and how now finishing Last Airbender, the one thing I think a lot of people were kind of weirded out by is the fact they mashed seasons together. And Chris remembers he called out a couple things they mashed together, and I was like, oh, they did mash this and this
Oh yeah.
together. But then I ended up saying, well, you know what? They mashed that together because it makes sense to where they're doing what the story is doing right now. There's like
Well,
only one thing that was really kind of out of place, and Chris said this happens super later, and we don't even see this character or this, I say character thing, this what this character does till season 2. But they put it in a place where something was already happening that had another thing in it that made it make sense. It it's gonna be interesting because I don't think I want to see, if you do Naruto, after Naruto, take a break. I do not want to see a year after Naruto gets announced and who's making it, all that kind of stuff. I don't want to see a couple months down the road. Oh, we're gonna make a live action of Demon Slayer, or we're gonna make a live action of Spy in the Family, or we're gonna make a live action of My Hero Academia, or we're gonna no no
it's
no no
gonna
no no
happen though.
no 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 no. I don't need that, because you really are touching some tentpole franchises at that point, or not franchise, tentpole animes that people
Mhm.
really enjoy. I rather not. Like, I don't need to see that in live action, because if you told me Demon Slayer in live action, you can't do half the stuff in Demon Slayer that's possible with anime. Like, that's just not great.
Yeah.